All right, welcome to another trading analytics video. Today we're going to discuss a few areas of the market, specifically SPY, the NASDAQ 100, and Nvidia. And then I'll also go ahead and throw in one trade idea at the end of the video that you guys can take advantage of. But first and foremost, let's kick things off with the S&P 500. As you guys can see, we did gap up over the weekend, breaking this 20 EMA to the upside and briefly getting over 598. I think we even got to 599 at one point before ultimately rejecting and re-losing this 598 area as support. We weren't able to hold that level. So at this particular moment, there is a chance that we could be putting in some lower highs here. Like I said, it's not a guarantee yet. We'll obviously need more price action to stamp this. But as of right now, it does look like we could be putting in some lower highs. However, if we're able to break this neckline area here, right over it's like right around 602. If we're able to break that neckline here, then we'll obviously probably make new highs on the S&P 500. And you can easily see where this can start looking like our little W here if that scenario were to play out. But if not, right, if it does not, then this is going to look like a lower high scenario that could easily come down and start making some lower lows, possibly down. Well, we could easily get to this trend line here that's back at 589. And if that's not the case, we could easily break down here and start heading lower towards our 100 EMA. Right now, there's a couple scenarios here, even to the downside, right? So if we were to get to this lower trend line at 589 and then bounce, we could easily start putting in higher lows this way as well. So there's a couple ways that that this could all play out. I have to wait and see how much more price action we get. But as of right now, I wouldn't be all in on calls or all in on shorts because again, it's still kind of little murky out there in regards to what direction we're going to be ultimately going. But as of right now, there is a very big case for the lower high scenario, but that could easily be invalidated as of tomorrow. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, on the NASDAQ 100 or QQQ, this is very much so a very similar situation as the S&P 500, where we easily could be putting in lower highs and getting a rejection from here. And then obviously, coming to the downside and breaking the 20 EMA and beyond. However, the other scenario here would be breaking above this downtrend line, closing a candle up here and heading towards 534. This would obviously invalidate this bearish scenario very quickly. So once again, I think just kind of like I mentioned with the S&P 500, we probably need to wait another day to wait and see if we're going to get a rejection from this level or if we're going to get the candle close above this zone here or this downtrend line. And that obviously will start pushing us towards 534 if we can finally get that break above this downtrend line. Otherwise, like I said, we'll get that rejection here and then likely look for either equal lows or a new low, possibly towards the 100 EMA or the support at 492. It could be either one of those. But the biggest thing for me right now is to wait because we don't have any full confirmation of what's going to happen here, whether it's the rejection or if we're going to get the candle to break above the downtrend line and then obviously head higher towards 534. So in my opinion, there is no trade here. Again, unless you're going to play the short side, aiming for a lower high, and obviously you would set your risk level to just above the downtrend line. You could do that as well. I personally won't be doing that, but you could do that as well. If you know how to manage risk properly, you can easily stop out very quickly for a minimal loss if we start breaking and closing above this downtrend line. Once again, that's not what I'll be doing, but that's the only trade that I could see that would make some kind of sense here if you're kind of like, willing to front run. But as for me, I would like to wait another day or two to kind of see what the NASDAQ 100 wants to do and react after that. The way I see this, guys, there's no rush. We have all year, right? I'm not going to kill myself to get in one trade that is kind of like a coin flip. That's not really what I'm interested in. Some people trade like that. I just personally don't. I like to wait for some confirmation and then I make my moves. So from there, like I said, on the NASDAQ 100, I think it's a wait and see in my humble opinion. All right, really quick, I want to go over Nvidia stock. This was the trade idea that was given in the previous video, and obviously it was covered very heavily in our Discord server. It was a banger of a trade for us in the server, and we absolutely crushed it on this trade idea. But what I'm going to do really quick is play a clip from the previous video on YouTube, and then we'll go ahead and discuss a little bit about what's next on Nvidia. You know, again, if that wasn't enough, we also just kind of in this section here, we do kind of have this inverted head and shoulders like structure also forming from here. We also got a very nice bounce right off of this trend line, this lower trend line here. And like I said, in our trend count here, we obviously are finally putting in our first higher low. So again, we do want to see a push to the upside from here. So again, Nvidia looks ready to blast. This is a one of my main setups that I'll be trading through January, maybe a little bit into February, depending on how this goes. This is the very early innings of this potential move. This obviously, like I said, does take us somewhere into the 150s. So I really like this play. All right, as you can see, we were expecting us to hit 150 or the 150s on Nvidia, and we did that today. I think we topped out right around 152. And we were getting in this right around 138. So this was obviously a banger of a trade. We did well over 100% on this trade, and members in the Discord server absolutely crushed it. Hopefully some of you guys here on YouTube crushed it as well. Obviously, we gave you guys the analysis a little bit after we told the Discord members. But once again, you know, everyone should have did well on this if you paid attention to either the YouTube channel or if you were in our Discord server. So that being said, here we are. We got really close to the previous high, not quite there, but we did get really close right in the 152s, and we since rejected from there. Now, if I can quickly draw out this little thing right here, and I'll move this up just quite a bit. You can see that we got up here and, like I said, got close to the previous high, rejected, and now we closed under this resistance here, which is kind of like the top of our consolidation period, and we're basically closing just below that. So from here, again, I still widely expect that we will get to this upper trend line pretty soon, but again, we could easily come down and fill this gap first. And if that's not enough, we can easily come down as well and retest the neckline of this inverted head and shoulder portion of this trade. So that could happen as well before rounding back up. Now, again, these don't have to happen. It's just a scenario that we need to obviously keep our mind open to for any downside potential. Obviously, if you guys remember what I was covering on the NASDAQ 100 and SPY, and there were some downside scenarios there, I imagine if the downside scenarios are playing out on the indexes, you're probably going to come down here and fill this gap on Nvidia, and probably also the test of this neckline of this inverted head and shoulder before rounding back up. Now, if that doesn't happen, then we could, you know, again, the big key would be pushing over this 152 area. Once we get over that, I think you pretty much can stamp that we have a date with the upper trend line. So that's pretty much it on Nvidia. Keep it simple. Manage risk. If you guys were in when I was telling everyone to get in right around the 137, 138 area, you should pretty much be mostly in runners at this point. Most of your profits should be off the table. It was a very, very successful trade for everyone. So again, you don't let any profits go back to the market. Keep it in your trading accounts, and yeah, always book profits. All right, really quick, I did promise that I would give a trade idea at the end of the video here, and that is going to be AMD or Advanced Micro Devices. As you can see here on the daily chart, we do have a potential double bottom, which had formed here. And again, a couple things to like about the trade, a couple things that are a little bit challenging that I don't like so much. But anyway, here it is. So we do have a downtrend here. We obviously did finally get a candle outside of the downtrend, which is great. And we also broke over our neckline or our breakout zone. So all of that is great for AMD. Now, what I'm looking for next is a possible test of our 20 EMA here. That's right around 134, close to 135. And then once we break over that, we can start looking at the 100 EMA. That'll be in the 140s. And then ultimately, we'll likely at that point work our way to this upper trend line here, which does take us into the 150s, right? So again, this double bottom is powerful and potent enough to get this move done. However, it does come with some path of resistance with all of the moving averages ahead of us. We have lots of hurdles to get over, as you can see. Now, we did clear the 20 EMA, but we do have the 50, 100, and 200 to clear before getting to the upper trend line. So I do think this trade can come with some headache, but again, the risk to reward is there on AMD if you understand how to manage risk. Now, what I would do on this particular trade, if I were to take this one, and so I'll draw that back out. All right, so basically, if this candle comes back below this breakout level or neckline, I probably would get out of the trade and stamp it as a loss if that were to happen. But as long as, you know, bulls can keep it above that breakout level and above this trend line that we just broke, if we can remain above that, then I like long dated call options out to February. March will probably be even better, but you know, mid-February, March, somewhere around there. If you're gonna try to aim for the Grand Slam, which is up here in this upper trend line here. So like I said, it does have a nice setup. We did get the break of the downtrend. However, we do have lots of our moving averages ahead of us, which is pretty annoying, I guess, to deal with. But it is what it is. That's the setup here. So again, you can take it if you like. Just understand that the trade could come with some headache because of everything I already explained. So that being said, we are off to a tremendous start of this year. Some of my portfolios are up 40%. Some are up 100% already plus. On some of the trades that we've already taken, Nvidia was a big part of that. So we're already off to a tremendous start here in 2025. And I hope a lot of you guys will come on this journey with us in our Discord server and crush the market here this year. So that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day. Just also remember, the market is closed on Thursday, so keep that in mind. It is a short week. Rest in peace to our former president. But that being said, you guys have a wonderful day. We'll talk later. See ya.
Perfect.